All right, we'll take a break from the charts now and head to the phone line. Screendeath Summersong is the third release of the Canadian Landscape Trilogy, a mapping of the landscape of Canada in song. It's the project of British Columbia group Woodland Telegraph, and Matt Lovegrove is of the group and joins me on the phone to chat. Matt, welcome to the Earshot 20.
Hey, thanks for having me, Anthony.
So the Canadian Landscape Trilogy is a project that you started back in 2008. What was the concept and where did the idea come from?
Yeah, well, I was actually living up in the Rocky Mountains in the Kananaskis Valley, and I was working up there, and I got really inspired by the landscape in the Rockies, so I decided to write a concept record based on the history and the landscape of the mountains. And so that turned out to be the first release in the Canadian Landscape Trilogy. From there, we just decided it would be a really fun thing to do to try to map out Canada in song and do it in a trilogy of albums.
So since then, you have been creating the music and mapping that out. Can you give us an idea of some of the things that inspired the songs you wrote in, the first album, second album, and now this one?
Absolutely, yeah. So as I said, the first record, it's called Sing as Revival Hymns. So we were up in the Rockies, obviously influenced by that, the history there. We moved over to Lethbridge, Alberta, in southern Alberta, and we got really inspired by farming stories, the culture around, growing your own food and being connected to the land that way. So the second album is called From the Fields, and it's all inspired by farmland prairie stories. So for our latest record, it's called Screendeath Summersong. It's a little bit of a departure. Started to take a look at how much we use screens all the time. We're always on our smartphones and on our laptops, and I was really interested to try to explore kind of ideas of new technology in a folk song format. So, what is it like when we're always on our screens? How does that change the way that we, perceive Canada and our landscapes here?
And Screendeath Summersong is the last of the trilogy. Was it a sobering experience releasing the final piece of the project?
It felt really great, actually. Yeah, no, it's. I definitely feel. I think most artists or novelists or whatever feel, when you're done a project now, it's like fresh terrain. You can go and try something else and do something new. So yeah, it was sobering in a good way, I think.
So now, speaking of what's next, what do you have plans? Have you thought of something different that that you might be working on after this all settles?
Yeah, I mean, for the Woodland Telegraph projects, it's a full band affair. So we've got, drums, bass, guitar, and everything there. I've been really inspired by a record by Scott Merritt called Of, and it's totally stripped down. I think it's ukulele and a few other kind of textural instruments. So I'd really like to try to do something really stripped down, I think. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm pretty inspired by Scott Merritt, so yeah.
Find more information online about Woodland Telegraph and the incredible project Canadian Landscape Trilogy at northernfolklore.com. Matt, thanks for checking in and good luck with what's on the horizon.
Thanks so much, Anthony. Your show is great and pleasure to be on it.
Here's a track from Screendeath Summersong in an Earshot Extra spot and more of the charts on the way too. It's the Earshot 20.